Okay, welcome everybody. I'm gonna do this new thing out where I unwax my surfboard and then re-wax my surfboard, and I sort of just say what comes to my mind. Shout out to my buddy Ollie, he told me to do this. I'm trying to get the YouTube more active, so I figured this is a good way to get it going when there isn't great waves, and I'm just sort of telling you guys my thoughts, my ambitions, things like that. So we will get started. The de-waxing tool, good tool to have. It's super satisfying to de-wax boards, even if you don't really need to. But I always leave way too much wax on my board and never do this, so I'm kind of killing two birds with one stone here. I have my board getting a proper wax job, and I'm able to share some stuff on YouTube. Really, the main way to make any money as a free surfer who is not a pro surfer is to have a big YouTube channel. So I'm trying to get more creative with it, trying to produce more like helpful content in a way. I created this community on School Games, or school.com, where I'm putting together like these online courses for people learning to surf, and it's gonna have things like pop-up technique, surf etiquette, sort of the science of waves, why waves break, what creates swell, all these things that like I really didn't know at all, and honestly aren't like too clear on the internet, and I'm sort of consolidating them all into one place. And the cool part is right now, and probably for this first year, it'll be free. The goal is to try and sort of make this year like the practice period in a way. Try and get as many people in the community as I can, have them sign up, contribute, and then on my end, I'm going to try and make it as valuable as possible. And so when I'm able to create value for people, that's when I can start to charge money and, hopefully make a career out of surfing. That's been the goal from the jump. I started like a year and a half ago. But like I really started fresh a year and a half ago, so I really did not know surfing at all. I learned to surf 5 years ago. That was like the first time I touched a board, but was working for like 3 years. Was sort of just doing the weekend warrior thing, and then quit my job at a bank like, what was it, September 23, and have been just chasing waves ever since. So I'm trying to get more creative with it, get more helpful with my content, and this is step one, de-waxing. Right now I'm based out of Nicaragua, and the waves have been super small. So I've really just been teaching surf this past month or so. I started 2 months ago, but it was cool. Like when the waves were bigger, I would just take days off from coaching, and I would just go surf myself, because you don't want to take beginners out. Camera fell. In like anything above, I'd say like 3 feet. Yeah, I mean, obviously people do. People are just hungry for money, but I don't know, you don't have a good time. Everyone gets a bit scared, and it probably is not great for the surfer. I mean, me getting started, I would have loved it, going out in 4 feet, whatever, like, but I don't think I'm like most people learning to surf. Most people sort of just want to go in there, splash around, have some fun, etc. But okay, we're de-waxed, everyone. Board is de-waxed. Gotta be careful with this table, it's very unstable. There we go. Now time to re-wax. But yeah, surfing's been such an interesting thing to pick up. It's sort of just like any life skill where you start it and you think like, oh, I got this. Like, I sort of see the path to becoming real good, and like all these things that other people are doing, oh, they can't be that hard, it's just because I'm new. You sort of have this false confidence getting going. And then for me, it was like 3 months in where I was just so humbled, and I was like, oh my God, like some guys out there are just so good at surfing. And then I was sort of in the spot where I was like, oh, yeah, maybe this isn't for me, blah, blah, blah. But I've always loved it. Like, it's the only sport I've ever done where, like, even the shitty days where you catch no waves, you come out of the water and you're still pretty fired up. So I don't think that's very common with much other sports. And, like, I used to play lacrosse growing up. And I was a goalie in lacrosse. And some of those days where you were just like, you just get pelted with balls and be like, this is no fun. Particularly, like, yeah, practice. Like, oh, this is so ass. Sick. There's no better feeling than a freshly waxed surfboard. Feels so good. I wish we had some waves to ride it on. It's literally, Surfline has said 1 to 2 feet for like 4 weeks. It's super annoying. And I got like my first video on Instagram that got traction. It was just a video of me getting caught inside. It wasn't anything good, honestly. But it got like 900,000 views. And I was super pumped on it. I was like, oh, maybe like I can sort of start to grow a base from here. And we just haven't had waves since then. In literally a month, no waves. So, and I should say, like, I can still go out and surf. Like, when it gets to like 2 foot here, there's still places that break, which is cool. So, it's definitely better than like back home in Jersey or whatever, but it's tricky with social media too, because you see like guys all over the world just catching these bombing waves. You think that you're like getting stuck so far behind when you don't have waves. So I think you just got to stay patient with it and trust the ocean gods, trust that you're in the right place at the right time, which it really feels like I am here. I think everything's lining up for me, so. But yeah, it's been about 16 months since I left home. Left the U.S. and I feel like if you're a young guy, like, there's really no point in living in like a U.S. city. How's it going? I was living in New York, paying too much for rent, not surfing, and I really haven't looked back since then. Let me know if there's any other guys like this out there. It'd be cool to connect, surf together, or just message back and forth, whatever. We're done. Surfboard, fully waxed. Check it out.